Hey everybody, Hugh Gartizer here. I want to show you what I'm doing here today. What I'm doing is I've decided to, my little super stock car, I've decided to make my own struts. The struts up on the front. I'm not going to pay $3,000 when I have the resources to do it myself. And, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing. So let me turn this phone around and I'll show you what we're up to. Okay, I'm here at the mill. Got a little jet mill, and I got a 2-inch cutter in there, and I've got the strut spindle. The spindle is in a jig, and what I'm doing is I'm cutting a notch into the part that goes on the strut tube, the tube that has the piston in it and moves up and down. And if you'll notice, this jig that I built, it's a gusseted 2-inch, 1/4-inch thick jig for doing this. I used to build these, you know, quite some time ago and sold a bunch of them, but I got away from it, you know, got busy doing other stuff. I mean, there are people that you can buy these struts from, but because I'm building this new little car, I'm gonna build my own. And so the angle you're seeing that this device right here is leaning back. It's got this strut spindle hanging down at 10 degrees, and 10 degrees is pretty much the optimum level when you're building a racing car. And once the shock tube is welded to this spindle and gusseted, and you straighten up this spindle on the car, the tube that goes inside of it will be leaning backwards or inside the car 10 degrees. And here's one I've already notched. You can see the notch in this right here. And you know, so the top part, once this spindle, you know, it's down 10 degrees, once it's leaning or pointing straight on the car, the tube that it's welded to will be straight. See, I don't know if you can see it right here using this spray can. Once this thing is not, this is the wrong dimension, but once this is straight, the tube that's inside of it, well, I can't really show you and hold this phone, will be leaning in, and so that's what you want. That's what I want anyway. So you know, this spindle, the tire, everything will be absolutely straight in the car, and the tube that this is welded to will be leaning in. And then once you get that leaning in, you put this in the jig, and what you're going to do is you're going to turn that strut tube leaning backwards, which is positive caster, about 10 or 11 degrees, and that is usually a very good number for high-speed racing. Gives you good steering stability and all of that. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting a 2-inch notch in my spindles. I'm going to weld it onto the shock tube, and I'll probably make a little video when I do all of that. I'll show you all the pieces that go into doing this. But for the time being, I just wanted you to see that I'm notching these spindles, got it in a little jig. This is pointed down. Once it's straight, the tube that it's welded to won't be straight, it'll be leaning in, because this will be straight. And then you'll be able to turn that top tube leaning backwards in the car to give you a positive caster. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. Just thought I'd let you see that. And there's a little video coming up next of this thing cutting. And it's about 10 thousandths a pass, 10 or 15 thousandths a pass with that 2-inch massive cutting tool. And it notches that chromolyc tubing, or well, it's not tubing, it's solid chromoly. So this gets welded onto the strut tube. Okay? Okay, here's a little update on the strut situation on the front of this car. I got the shock tubes and the spindles all set in the jig, getting all of the parts. So actually, I think I've got everything now for the struts, and I just got it all tightened up in the jig, and I got it leaning back. You can see this thing right here. Well, I might not be able to get it on there. Let me try here. Got my little meter, and you can see meter settling in 80 degrees. I mean, off of 90, which is straight up, we're leaning back 10 degrees. So the tube is vibrating a little bit, but anyway, it's going to be in there. That's very, very close, 0.8 of a degree off, but it'll be 0.80, which will be leaning back 10 degrees from 90. Okay, and all of this is in here. Here's the deal on the back. I haven't made the lower control arms yet, but I just want to show you what I had to do. I'll show you from the top. This is the stock location, before I drilled that out, of the old struts that used to be on here. And these little cars, you know, they're designed to go 70, 80 miles an hour, sometimes 90, passing maybe 100. But it's designed to keep the steering wheel and the front tires straight at a high rate of speed. Well, this little car is, you know, going to run 150 miles an hour, so at a very, 8 seconds, hopefully. And so to keep the front wheel straight, what has to happen, let me take you over here, I'll show you this side. I got this just sitting in here. I had to drill a hole because the strut now is leaning farther back. I'll show you with this pin. We used to be straight up, now we've got it leaning back 10 degrees. That's a total of 10 degrees of caster. And where the old strut used to connect was in the center of this hole right here. And so because of a high rate of speed, we have to lean the strut back, put more caster into it. So, and it also has 10 degrees of shock leaning into it. So there has to be this new mounting position, and the new mounting of the strut will be back over in here. And so you can see where the center of this used to be and where we are now. Used to be right here. Now we're leaning back 10 degrees and we're leaning in. Actually, that's 10 degrees also. So that the tire will clear these cars do a lot of wheelies off the line, and the cars come up in the air and then they slam back down. And to get that travel to be straight and true without hitting anything, the stock vehicle, of course, doesn't have that. But this one hopefully will. But from straight 90, we're leaning back, so that's why the digital indicator is registering 80. We're back 10 degrees. Total of 10 degrees of caster will allow this car to run 150 miles an hour, and you can let go of the steering wheel if you wanted to, and it should track straight. At least that's what we're shooting for. It's sort of like a motorcycle, even on two wheels you can go real fast. Those handlebars, what they call the triple tree, is leaning back substantially, probably 30 degrees. So you can actually let go of the handlebars of a motorcycle, and the dude will keep going straight. You've probably seen people have accidents, and the motorcycle kind of jiggles around a little bit, then the thing straightens out because of the caster that's in the front forks. Allows the motorcycle to go straight. So anyway, I just thought I'd tune up that, give you a shot of what we're doing. This is the stock part. I'm trying to keep as much stock stuff as I can, but I had to precisely come in and over 10 degrees and 10 degrees to get the new position for the strut to attach on the strut tower, because these have to remain in the car as per the rules in super stock. Okay, so I don't know, what else are we doing here? I'll just quickly show you. I mean, there's a whole lot of things I've probably been doing, but I got my dashboard all. I mean, I'm sorry, not the dashboard, the firewall all made, and it's sitting flat on the ground. And I got my tunnel. Got my tunnel sitting in it, and I got it all bead rolled. It's all clickoed in. I can't put it in here yet because it has to be welded in, and I still need to take this body off this chassis. But anyway, that's what's going on. Got the dash in there. I don't know if you saw all of that. Got most of the tin in the backs all made. Got pieces of tin up here in the front. Of course, that tunnel will cover. It'll come right underneath this dash and go right up to the firewall there. These pipes will come out. But that's what we're doing. And I just wanted to update that strut deal for you. So here we go. See you on the next video.